Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. A number of Their Excellencies commanders and senior retired officers visit commands at the location of Al Shamouk 2 and Swift Sword 3 exercises. Tropical cyclone Laban continues to move towards the coast of the Governorate of Dhofar and Yemen. And His Excellency, the Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, reviews the developments of the Yemeni crisis with the UN Special Envoy to Yemen. Those were the headlines. Now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos sent a cable of greetings to His Majesty King Philippe VI of Spain on his country's National Day. A number of Their Excellencies commanders and senior retired officers paid a visit to the location of Al Shamouk 2 and Swift Sword 3 exercises. Upon arrival at the site, they were reviewed by Lieutenant General Ahmed bin Harath al-Nabhani, Chief of Staff of the Sultan's Armed Forces, Air Vice Marshal Mata bin Ali al-Abadani, Commander of Royal Air Force of Oman, and Rear Admiral Abdullah bin Khamis al-Raisi, Commander of the Royal Navy of Oman. During the visit, they were briefed on the ongoing progress of the exercise, stages of planning and national goals of the exercise. Meanwhile, in the joint command of the exercises, they were briefed on the roles and duties of the commands participating in the events. After that, they toured both the naval and aerial commands and got acquainted with the roles of various formations within those commands. They also visited the Media Centre, National Multi-Hazard and Early Warning Centre, the command of the Royal Oman Police and National Civil Defence Committee to follow up the roles of all these bodies in the exercises. His Excellency Syed Badr bin Saud bin Harab Al Busaidi, Minister responsible for Defence Affairs, stressed that the implementation of the Al Shamouk 2 and Swift Sword 3 exercises came within the royal directives of His Majesty the Sultan, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, pointing out that the training reflects the tasks and duties that are performed continuously so as to prove the level of preparedness of the state's military, civil and security sectors during joint work. The engineering department in the Sultan's Armed Forces, with all its capabilities and crew, took part in Al Shamouk 2 and Swift Sword 3 exercises. The department worked on facilitating the movement of forces, opening points of water supply and providing help in preparation of the defence sites, in addition to putting up a plan for engineering and establishment of the main commands. The Royal Navy of Oman participated in Al Shamouk 2 and Swift Sword 3 by show of its military, technical and technological force. The Navy completed the deployment of its forces in the operation theatre as per the general plan devised for these trainings. The Omani naval fleet contains a variety of Navy ships, such as battleships, Descubierta-class corvettes, gunships and other types of military ships, which are supported by supply-class ships and landing craft units. Royal Oman Police and the National Committee for Civil Defence also participated in Al Shamouk 2 and Swift Sword 3 by focusing on implementing the deployment plan and emergency law during adverse circumstances in a scenario-based training module devised for police and security institutions. The training initiated the state of emergency as per the emergency law and imposed a curfew, as the drill may require the evacuation of citizens from the surrounding areas. Since the declaration of the state of emergency for training purposes, Oman National Emergency Management Centre was activated, where various security and other public sectors work together to address scenario-based incidents. The latest weather charts and satellite imageries of the National Multi-Hazard and Early Warning Centre show that the centre of the tropical cyclone Laban is in the Arabian Sea at latitude 14.6 degrees north and longitude 58 degrees east and around 490 kilometres away from Salalah city, with a surface wind speed ranging between 119 and 137 kilometres per hour. The Public Authority for Civil Aviation said that the tropical cyclone Laban continues to move in a west-northwest direction towards Yemen and to the adjacent coast of the Governorate of Dhofar, with chances of intensifying to a Category 2 cyclone within the next 48 hours. Numerical weather prediction charts show the possibility of indirect impacts of the cyclone on the Governorate of Dhofar and the southern parts of the Governorate of Al Wasta starting from today, with isolated rains and rising sea waves with maximum heights of between 3 to 5 metres. The charts also show the possibility of a direct impact of Laban on the governorates of Dhofar and southern parts of Worcester, with start on Saturday with isolated rains and high seas with maximum wave heights of between 6 to 8 metres. The Public Authority for Civil Aviation calls on everyone to take precautions, not to risk crossing flowing wadis, move away from low-lying areas and not to venture out to sea. Our reporter Salah bin Khalfan Arabi is with the Public Authority for Civil Aviation to report on the latest developments of the tropical cyclone Laban approaching towards the governorates of Dhofar and Worcester from the Arabian Sea. Hello, Mr. Salah Al-Rabi. What information do you have for us from the National Multi-Hazard and Early Warning Centre?
Hello, Annabella. I'm here at the National Multi-Hazard and Early Warning Center at PACA. And I have with me here Abdullah bin Rashid Al-Khuduri, Chief of Planning and Meteorology Business Development at PACA. He will be updating us on the latest updates about Cyclone Laban. So, Mr. Abdullah, welcome. And what can you tell us about the latest development of Cyclone Laban?
Yes, Salah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you for being here with us today. Latest observation in the last 8 hours indicate that the tropical cyclone Laban is still located southwest of Arabian Sea, 14.2 north and 57.5 east. This tropical cyclone Laban is still category 1 and moving slowly towards the south, towards northwest direction, towards Yemen coast and Dhofar, southern part of Dhofar coast. We are expecting in the next 24 hours some affected clouds to Muhafazat Dhofar Government and Al Wasta southern parts may cause scattered rain, also with moderate winds varied between 20 to 25 knots.
What about, Mr. Abdullah, what about the expected potential movement of the cyclone in the upcoming hours?
Yes, as I said, now the slow movement of the tropical cyclone will cause a slow movement to the west and northwest direction. It is now away 80 kilometers away from Salalah city. Still the direction of the cyclone, as I said, moving to the Yemen coast, and we are expecting the direct impact of this cyclone to reach the Dhofar region by Saturday and Sunday. A lot of rain may fall. We are expecting between 100, still we are expecting 100 millimeters to 250 millimeters falling in Dhofar government. These amounts are heavy amount. Because of that, we are expecting some wadis in Dhofar, especially in the coastal areas of Dhofar and mountains, also the southern parts of Al Wasta region.
Okay, what about the weather forecast over the rest of the Sultanate, Mr. Abdullah? And are there any indirect impacts of the cyclone on the other areas in the Sultanate?
Yes, this is also a very important question, has been asked a lot today. The rest of the Sultanate mostly will be affected by high clouds and medium clouds. There are some expected scattered rain along the southern coastal areas, along the Arabian Sea, south parts of South Al-Sharqiyya government, also Al-Wusta region. For the Al-Hajar Mountains, we are also expecting very little rainfall there by tomorrow and Saturday. These amounts of rainfall are normal, nothing serious and nothing heavy to them.
Okay. The last question, Mr. Abdullah, what about the expectation of this cyclone? When is it going to end?
Yes, we are expecting the end of this event or the tropical cyclones once it entered to the coast of Yemen. We're expecting the landfall in morning of Sunday morning, and we're expecting to the end of this event to be in Monday afternoon or Tuesday morning.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abdullah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Annabella, that was Abdullah bin Rashid Al-Khuduri, Chief of Planning and Meteorology Business Development at PACA. And now, actually, it's over to you, Annabella.
Thank you very much, Salah, for the updates of Laban. That was Salah bin Kaufan Al-Rabi. The Civil Defence Subcommittee confirmed the full readiness to handle the tropical cyclone Laban, which is expected to indirectly affect some of the coastal wilayats in Worcester Governorate. Several coordination meetings at various levels were held in the wilayats of Jazza and Duqm to review the latest updates on the adverse weather condition Laban. The readiness plan included designating shelter centres and taking precautionary measures in coordination with relevant authorities and companies to minimise the impact of the weather condition. Duqm Police Station dispatched police cars to alert the citizens of the weather conditions and advise them on the best course of action. In line with the readiness plan to handle the tropical cyclone Laban, the ROP Special Task Force and the Public Authority for Civil Defence and Ambulance completed their deployment of forces and personnel in the Governorate of Dhofar in order to alert residents living in coastal areas and offer search and rescue services during Laban tropical cyclone. The deployed forces are divided to work in 4 zones in order to offer a balanced and quick response to all affected areas. The Royal Army of Oman, represented in Infantry Brigade 11 in the Governorate of Dhofar, transported the necessary supplies for the citizens and residents to the stores in the wilayas of Rakyut, Dalkut, Sada and Shlim. This came within the framework of preparations to distribute them to eligible citizens and residents that may be affected by tropical cyclone Laban. The efforts also aim to limit the possible impacts of the weather condition, as well as to enhance the services provided by the Ministry of Defence and the Sultan's armed forces to support other sectors and serve citizens and residents during the weather condition. Within the roles played by various national centres in the Sultanate during the tropical cyclone Laban, the Maritime Security Centre held a meeting at its headquarters to follow up the latest developments of the tropical cyclone and its expected effects on the ports of Dhofar Governorate, precautionary measures, as well as coordination with various military, security and civil authorities related to maritime security throughout the cyclone period. The meeting was headed by Commodore Mansour bin Mohammed Al-Qurusi, chairman of the Maritime Security Centre. The Information Technology Authority has issued a circular to government institutions in the wilayas that are expected to be affected by the direct effects of tropical cyclone Laban. It came to take precautionary measures to protect their electronic systems during the cyclone. The authority stressed the need for institutions to isolate the systems and devices of information technology related to the government network and ensure that they are in a safe place, in addition to keeping backup copies as a precautionary measure. Laban cyclone is the first Omani name for a tropical system that will be affecting the Sultanate during the upcoming days. Laban, or frankincense cyclone, is expected to affect the land of frankincense, the governorate of Dhofar. Laban is one of 8 names which were suggested by the Sultanate that included Baz, Sidr, Ward, Mugan, Hudhud, Nada, Laban and Maha. Sidr cyclone struck Bangladesh in 2007. In summer 2004, the naming of tropical systems in the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal in the Sultanate of Oman had witnessed many tropical systems, including Gurno, Fet and Makono, that embodied the solidarity among all segments of society. Still to come in our news bulletin. The 5th Obesity Forum, The Biggest Loser, is organised by the National Centre for Diabetes. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, received Martin Griffiths, UN Special Envoy to Yemen. During the meeting, they discussed the international efforts exerted to reach a political solution to the Yemeni crisis. They also focus on the latest field developments in Yemen. The Omani PhD student Muna bint Mohammed Al-Habsi is a member of the team of Japanese professor Tasuku Honju, winner of the Nobel Prize in Medicine for the current year in developing a treatment for cancer. She is the second Omani student who joined Professor Honju's medical team after her colleague Azhar Al-Ismaili, who acquired her PhD in medicine under Honju's supervision. Professor Hongu commended the capabilities and skills of Omani student Muna Al-Habsi and stressed her contribution as part of his medical team in research conducted by him. The first batch of the National Programme for Upgrading Government Performance completed the programme aiming at building national cadre and implementing government projects. It is one of the qualitative steps in the endeavour to develop leadership skills and government performance. 52 participants holding supervisory jobs in government bodies took part in the one-year programme. They adopted 10 projects aimed to assist in building Omani cadre to carry out government projects in a more efficient way. The promotional campaign of Dukum started in Houston City in the United States with the aim to attract investments to the Special Economic Zone Authority at Dukum. The delegation within the campaign visited one of the companies affiliated to the Oman Oil Company. A meeting was held which included officials of both sides to get acquainted with various projects in Dukum. The 5th Obesity Forum, The Biggest Loser, was organised today. It was organised by the National Centre for Diabetics in cooperation with Oman Diabetics Association. The event included organising awareness lectures and honouring a number of people who achieved good performance in losing weight. The forum was held under the auspices of Her Excellency Sayyida Muna bin Fahad Al Said. Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear skies will prevail over most of the governorates, with chances of low clouds and fog late at night and early morning over the coast of the Arabian Sea. Winds will be southeasterly to south, light to moderate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1.25 metres. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. A number of Their Excellencies, commanders and senior retired officers visit commands at the location of Al Shamouk 2 and Swift Sword 3 exercises. Tropical cyclone Laban continues to move towards the coast of the Governorate of Dhofar and Yemen. And His Excellency, the Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, reviews the developments of the Yemeni crisis with the UN Special Envoy to Yemen. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.